Welcome back to Forgotten Legends of Sound. Today we are doing the Fs. Why don't we get started?
Yes. We are actually doing Fs again. We did Fs already, but the lighting was really bad, so we're actually doing it again. But anyways, no biggie. We like
so that's why we are doing the Fs again.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it again. For those of you who are wondering.
In case any of you are like, did you guys do this video again?
Yeah, you know, because you can just tell sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you can just tell.
Yeah.
You know, so you can tell that this is our more practiced version. Yeah.
We're so professional.
We're so professional.
Yeah,
you guys ready for this?
We're good at this YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
What are we doing today? Today we are doing the Fs. So I'm going to just get started. You guys pretty much good to go?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I'm good to go. This is Fair to Midland. This is kind of a newer band that I've actually kind of just been getting more into. This is the Carbon Copy Silver Lining. This is like their first like album demo kind of thing. And I think this is actually kind of hard to find now. So story of them is my coworker was just like, hey, one of my friends is like into prog rock and he likes Fair to Midland. So then he showed me the 2007 album, What I Tell You Three Times Is True, or I can't remember the full name, Fables from a Mayfly. He showed me that album and I was like, oh, pretty cool, you know, and this is like a couple years ago. So I was just like, and then I listened to that podcast, the Radical Research podcast.
You almost forgot it again.
I know. I always have to pause and make sure I get it right, but I'm not going to forget this time. So then they had it on one of their episodes. They talked a little bit about Fair to Midland, and then I was kind of like, this band's pretty cool. So then I checked out more, and that was the time that I bought all of these albums. So then fast forward a couple of years later, like this week, I was going through their Arrows and Anchors album, and I was like, man, this stuff is freaking sick, and that's why I've been like showing you guys like during the week and stuff. So anyways, they're kind of a newer band for me, and I'm glad I picked up their stuff because I think this stuff you can't get on Discogs anymore. You know, maybe you can at a future date, but I checked like a few days ago and it was all gone. This is the Interfunta Stifle album. This album has a lot of songs that are on their next one. I think that's kind of considered a demo as well, you know, because like half of the songs on there, they re-recorded for like, this is their first like major release on a major label kind of thing. So they re-recorded the songs on here, and this is a pretty good album. It's got some good hooks. Great listen. And this is the album that I'm really listening to a lot, and I really like this album a ton. It's pretty dope.
I was digging some of the stuff you showed me on that.
Yeah. Like they're just a really good. They know how to write just really catchy stuff, and they're artsy or experimental enough to not be like predictable and boring. So.
Was the Tiki Taki Tavi one weird for you too? It was a little weird, but it's still kind of cool though.
Yeah. Ricky Ticky. That song is fucking amazing. And then we got The Real Thing. This is Faith No More. This is the one, I think this is the one that has Epic on it. Yep, Epic. That's the song. Do you guys remember that song from back in the day? It's like, you want it all, but you can't have it. Anyways, yeah. I don't know if you guys needed that, but you guys got it.
This is the Mike Patton, the Mr. Bungle, and the Tomahawk kind of.
Main band.
Main band. Yeah.
So this is, Angel Dust. This is the album I've listened to the most. I like that album. The album's pretty freaking dope. Another band that is kind of like experimental enough that you're like, you don't really get bored with them. Here's their next album, third album. This is like King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. And then we got Album of the Year from Faith No More. I've never even heard that album, so I don't know. I'm not sure how it is. And then we also got Falconer's first album with Falconer. That's another one that we did a video on, so check it out, you know, if you guys want to.
Yeah, check it out. This was one of my picks. So if you hate my guts, check this video out.
Just hate watch. We all like to hate watch stuff, you know?
Yeah, you know. And then this is the next one. This is Chapters from a Veil Forlorn.
That's another good one.
That is a pretty good album. Yeah, and then we got Falconer, The Scepter of Deception. We also got Falconer, Grind versus Grandeur. And Falconer was a band that me and Kevin, in high school, we downloaded various songs, and that was kind of our exposure to them. Yeah. But this was the album that we saw in a store, and we picked it up, and we were like, oh, this is really cool, you know?
I picked this up along with Symphony of Enchanted Lands Part 2, like at the same time.
At the same time,
so, yeah.
Yeah, I probably picked up Dragon Force or something at that time. I don't know. I feel like that time when we would go to that Best Buy, like I remember we picked up a Dream Theater there. Like
there was a Circuit City, there's the Best Buy, we bought some stuff.
Yeah.
There's the Sound Exchange where we got most of our stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's the FYE. Those 4 places were the kind of the main.
Where we would always go check them all out to make sure we found cool stuff.
I remember because we picked up that Falconer and then we went across the street and then we went to the movie theater with Spencer.
Yeah.
You know, and Spencer Dean was with us.
Yeah, dude, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Northwind, pretty dope. And this is Among Beggars and Thieves from Falconer.
I think Jake was with us too. Sorry.
Jake was, I think he was.
Didn't want to leave Jake out.
Then we got Armad. This is their album where it's like in all Swedish. Then we got Black Moon Rising, a little bird flying around and stuff. Then we got From a Dying Ember. This is their last album. So, yeah, a lot of Falconer.
Do you think they're ever going to get back together again and do another
I don't know. They tricked us once before. They said they broke up after that, 2014 album, and then they did that album. So who knows?
I wonder if they're ever going to come back. I'm not sure. But I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, because so many bands are like, oh, we break up, and then they're like, we're back together, guys.
We're back.
So you never know. This is the Falkenbach's first album in their Med Riki Farah.
Nailed it.
Damn, I'm good. And this is like an OG one or whatever, it looks really cool,
is it
art.
Early press?
Early press,
Okay. Gotcha. Early press, what does that mean? Anything between...
Anything. Because that's the thing, I'll buy stuff on Discogs or eBay or whatever, and I'll, make sure that it, looks legit as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I know that I could be fooled, I don't know if people believe that, but I can, it's like, man, some of these dudes could trick you with how much they look like authentic, or they'll be 100% authentic, and you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah. How do you tell?
The way that I do it is I try to match the pictures that other people post on Discogs, because they'll have examples that you could see kind of some of the codes and stuff on the actual CD. And also, here's a little lesson. Also, underneath it too, there's little markings and stuff. So certain editions will have certain markings on it, or certain lettering or numbers and stuff. I feel like that's the best way you can tell, is just try to match it to what is listed there as here's what the legit one looks like. But a lot of bootlegs try to copy.
I was gonna say that they make bootlegs for everything.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, especially for rare CDs. Now, some of these Falkenbach, I don't think Falkenbach is as rare of a band that people are trying to make bootlegs of, because they wouldn't make that much money. Yeah. They're trying to make bootlegs of freaking first press of some unknown thrash metal band or death metal band that is there's only 300 copies ever made and stuff. Yeah. So it's
the rarity.
Yeah. Then because they know that those things sell for hundreds of dollars, and that's what they want to freaking get it from. So I think that some of these, even though I say they're kind of rare, they're not so rare that it's hundreds of dollars or anything. Here's Ok Nefna Tizvarti. This is the album that first got me into Falkenbach. Really freaking awesome. I remember back in, 2006, 2007. Yeah. I know we keep explaining the same stories, but I was getting into all sorts of Viking metal stuff, folk metal stuff. Got into Primordial, Falkenbach, Alcest, and I was just kind of blown away. Here's Heralding the Fireblade. Almost said Havamal. Havamal is the name of the song on the album, not the album. So, whew. Yeah, that was a close one. Yeah, I might have looked like an idiot. And
by the way, Falkenbach is one of those bands where it's one guy doing everything. So that's pretty cool. Kind of a Mike Oldfield kind of
Mike Oldfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, there's a ton of those in folk or black metal stuff. Right. There's so many one-man bands. Yeah. That's Asa, their last album for Falkenbach. So pretty cool. This is a band that Werner, as all of you guys know, the one that comments most on our videos, Werner got me into these guys because he really liked them. And I saw this in the store for $1.99. That was when they had more harsh vocals and stuff. And then I picked up 3 of their albums. Here's Follow the Leaf. What is this one called again? Fermina. And then we've got Volvir from Follow the Leaf. Some of these I haven't listened to as much, whereas this album I've heard a little bit more. This is Vantage from Follow the Leaf. Really different vocalist. They're kind of a hard to categorize kind of band, Anyways, and then we also got their last album, Aerolith. And then speaking of Mike Patton side projects, here's another one. Here's Phantomos with the director's cut. Yeah, the director's cut. So kind of cool. Never gone through that album. Picked it up for a couple bucks because, you know, I was just like, why not give it a shot? And then we got Farmer Boys. Here's another Werner recommendation. You know, that's the thing. There's so many friends. Like Chad's gotten me into a lot of stuff. Kevin's got me into a little bit of stuff. No, Kevin's got me into a lot of stuff. But then like some of my friends like online have shown me tons of cool music, and it's just, I don't know, that's just really cool to share music with other people and also to find cool music from other people, you know. Exactly. So here's The World Is Ours from Farmer Boys. I went through that album a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, man, this is really good stuff. Like Farmer Boys is pretty cool. Then we get
this cover reminds me of the Moby cover. Yeah, you know, where he's holding the helmet. And stuff like that.
18.
Yeah, 18.
And then we got the other side. This is the one I've heard more from Farmer Boys.
I like that album.
That's a really good album. Yeah. And then they broke up and got back together. Here's Born Again from Farmer Boys. So kind of cool. And then we've got a lot of Fates Warning. I think a lot of these Fates Warnings are the mid-90s Metal Blade presses because they all kind of look like this. So not insanely rare, but kind of cool. Here's Night on Brocken. And then we've got, Spectre Within with Fates Warning. And then we got Awaken the Guardian. Fates Warning is a band that Kevin got a lot of their stuff back in high school because Kevin was getting more into the Queensryche, Fates Warning, a lot of that kind of stuff. That was like the prog power kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. And in high school, I was kind of like getting into all these other kinds of things. So I didn't really give as much time to bands like Fates Warning. And I kind of want to give a little bit more time to these guys now because I think I'm going to be more open to it now than I was back then. Yeah. You know, kind of cool, but...
I was kind of a little more of like the classic metal, the more heavy metal sound. And this is Fates Warning, No Exit. But I will say I'm much more familiar with their 90s stuff than I am with their 80s stuff. Yeah. You know, I like their 90s stuff more than the 80s, but...
I remember I picked up 2 of the 80s albums because I was trying to finish that, you know, finish the collection. And I heard that they were good, and I heard them a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but I just haven't jumped fully into them yet, you know, so one of these days I will. So Kevin's more of the Fates Warning guy, but here's Parallels from Fates Warning.
Yeah, that's probably
what's funny is I remember seeing that CD at your house, actually. I think your dad had this. My dad. He was into Fates Warning. Here's Inside Out from Fates Warning. And then we also got Pleasant Shade of Grey from Fates Warning. So pretty cool. Alrighty. Next up, we got some industrial metal with Fear Factory, Demanufacture.
That's an album I do want to listen to more. I've heard a little bit and stuff, and it's but I'm not super familiar with Fear Factory.
And then we also got Obsolete from Fear Factory. And then we also got, here's a Japanese CD, so we're just going to show it off. Here's a Fellowship. This is like their only album, the Saberlight Chronicles. Kind of cool, you know. There's not a lot of power metal nowadays that really like gets me going, but I like that album. I think it's pretty cool. Then we got Filter with Title of Record. This album and this one, the Amalgamate, these are albums that I've like barely heard, you know. I know the singles, and I was like, it's $1. Just pick it up. Like, it's pretty cool. But I need to jump into those a little bit more.
Yeah, but is it real metal, Ian?
I know. Does it shred, though? And then we got Fintrol. Here's Midnatten's Vidunder. This is their first album. That one's definitely their most black metal-y out of all their albums. It still has the folk, like Hoompa metal kind of polka crap in there, too. But it's definitely their most black metal-y. And here's Yachtin's Tid from Fintrol. Kind of cool. And this is like actually my favorite release from them. This is the EP. This is the Visceram Slutet EP from Fintrol. So if you haven't heard this EP, it's more acoustic, it's more somber, it's more kind of like atmospheric, and it's really cool. So I'd recommend you check it out. Here's the Trollhammer in EP. So kind of cool. And then we got probably their best album. This is my favorite. Here's was it Natfod? Here's my favorite. What is it called? So that's the thing. Like,
don't worry, guys. Some of these names, it's like,
don't worry, guys. I'm a real fan.
And then we got what is this? Jorgens Diup.
The problem is like when you're into as much music as we are, like there's some people that they're going to be die hard into Fintrol, and like we like Fintrol, but we're not die hard Fintrol, so we're not.
I'm die hard.
So it's how hard do you fanboy?
Right.
Yeah, because Fintroll is a band I only know the first few albums. Like at that album and onward, I've barely listened to those. I know they have a different singer and stuff. Like they don't have the Wilska guy anymore, or the Catla dude or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But like, yeah, I don't know. So here's Niflvind. I don't know. Here's Niflvind. So some of these ones I haven't really listened to that much. And here's Blodgevet from Fintroll. So it's kind of like another thing too is when you're sharing stuff over and over and over again, and you're put on the spot for every single thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to recall immediately every single thing when you come across every single thing. You know, it's just
and my point,
come up with it in 5 seconds. You know, for every single album that you show up, it's just like
and my thing too is like when you've got like hundreds and hundreds of metal bands that you listen to, it's humanly impossible to give the kind of care and attention to every single you know.
So that's why we're not posers, okay?
So it's just
hey, we got metal cred. We do.
Look, I
look, Chad's got long hair.
Yeah, and a beard. Like, come on.
Look, guys, I saw Metallica back in 1983. I was one of those 10 people in the crowd.
One of those 10 people.
I was there, man. You like hear those stories with people trying to be like, you know, I was there.
Dude, I played with blah blah blah. Oh man, we partied. He's a pretty cool dude. And it's just like,
you know, me and Cherry King, you know, we hung out and like had a beer. You're just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, and he was all like, you know, he's just like, hey, write me sometime. I'm like, sure.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Alrighty.
We live in a day and age where everyone's trying to be something, but you know, we're just gonna be us.
We're gonna be us. Here's some Flotsam and Jetsam. This is a band that, dude, I've known their name forever, but I didn't start listening to them until like a month ago. So I was just kind of like, I got these and I was just like, ooh, OG. And I'm just like, man, this album is freaking awesome. Like, I wish that I didn't sit on this band for so long because I was just like, this is like some really cool stuff, you know?
I need to listen to them some more too.
Yeah. Here's Flotsam and Jetsam, No Place for Disgrace. So pretty brutal, and a little OG looking stuff. Oh snap!
Excuse me.
What's he gonna do? and then this is the band that I think it's funny to just when there's something that's so obviously gonna go wrong or go crazy to just pretend that you don't know what's gonna happen. Like you know, being ignorant of something that's obviously gonna turn savage. It's just funny. Then we got this is a Flying Fish. Since we had Devil Doll on here, I decided to include these guys. They're not all that metal, but they're definitely dark, you know.
So, you know,
so like they're kind of a little bit, I don't know. So we're just showing them off anyways, because whatever. This is kind of cool though, you know, Flying Fish, Carnival of Souls. This is like a tribute band basically to Devil Doll. So like the lyrics and stuff are all based on the similar stuff. Like there's a ton of quotes from The Prisoner and whatnot. So it's kind of cool that this guy just really loves Devil Doll because Devil Doll is freaking awesome.
And this guy's from Mexico.
Yeah, he's from Mexico.
Another one man.
Yeah, I think it is a one man thing. He might have had some other help on other things, but I think he is kind of the main composer. Does all the music. Like I think he does most of the stuff in Flying Fish. So, anyways, This is the second album, Pollo Sin Cabeza. So they came with this little like comic. I couldn't read it because it was all in Spanish. So I was like, oh, okay. But then the CD just kind of comes in like a card kind of thing. So kind of cool, you know. Then we got Flyleaf. What can I say about these guys? Sister band. Got it for free from a sister.
Yeah.
So
sister bands.
Don't know much about them, but they're there.
I do like a couple songs, but oh man, we're on video.
Not good, Bob.
It's like what? Like is it like post grunge types? Is that?
Are they like alternative
emo? A little bit, maybe?
Thrash. A little bit.
Yeah. A little black metal.
Some death metal influence.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, Flyleaf, they got it all. And then we got Forbidden with Forbidden Evil. Yeah, kind of cool. This is like an OG one, too. Combat Records.
And I think you introduced us to Forbidden
I used
a
to
long
have
time
this
ago.
Yeah. Dude, I remember in high school you showing me that album, and I think you made me a burn of it, because I remember listening to it on my own and being like, man, this is really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And this is their second album, Twisted into Form. That's another thing, like, this album I need to branch out to, because I haven't heard this one, you know, but I picked up the first two, because I, you know, heard those were the best, but I only knew that the first one was good, you know, so, anyways, we also got A Forest of Stars, The Corpse of Rebirth. I remember hearing this band back on Bandcamp in, like, 2008 or something, you know, and what's really funny is there's a lot of these bands that at the time, I didn't think that they were going to get like as big. Insomnium's like the same way, where I was kind of like, you know, they only have like 2 albums. They might just, you know, more specifically Mass too. And then all these bands 20 years later, they've made so much stuff and they're actually like getting bigger. And I'm like, that's cool. You know, it's cool. They're getting recognized for their hard work. You know, here's the opportunistic Thieves of Spring, Forest of Stars. Forest of Stars is an interesting band because the vocalist dude just puts it all out there. He's very theatrical, and the lyrics are also pretty engaging. Like, I kind of like their shtick. Here's a shadow play for Yesterdays. Shadow play for Yesterdays. So I really like their shtick, and they're pretty cool, you know. And this one is pretty good. I like this one. This is Beware the Sword You Cannot See. Kind of cool art too. I think it looks pretty dope. And this album is also cool. Grave Mounds and Grave Mistakes. Yeah, their lyrics and stuff, they remind me of Sleepytime Gorilla Museum lyrically.
Yeah.
And also because they're kind of eccentric, but at the same time, not as experimental metal, more like black metal with some experimental kind of vibes to them. Right. So kind of cool. And then we got Freedom Call. Ooh, here's a Stairway to Fairyland. Yeah, Stairway to Fairyland. And this is my favorite Freedom Call release. This is the Tarragon EP. Man, like if you're a power metal fan, listen to this EP because it's pretty freaking dope.
Pretty dope.
You know, everything on there. And the cover song freaking for Ultravox is just astounding, man.
It's a great cover.
It's freaking awesome. This one's pretty good too. Here's Freedom Call with Crystal Empire. And then we got Freedom Call with Eternity. And then this is the first Freedom Call me and Kevin ever got because we saw it at Sound Exchange for like, $5 or something. So anyway, just a live CD. It's got the Tarragon EP as well.
Yeah.
All right, here's some more kind of new metal-ish, kind of, I don't know, alternative rock stuff. Here's Fuel's greatest hits. You know, they scream a little bit, you know. Gosh dang it, it is metal. Yeah.
Yeah. In my hands again.
Had a bad day again. They're metal. No, they're pretty cool. I mean, I don't like them enough to get their albums, but that Greatest Hits is pretty cool. You know? Yeah. Here's Furia, their first album. Some of these ones I won't be able to pronounce. I won't be able to pronounce. But anyway, it's kind of cool. If you like black metal that has more bass guitar, like, they're pretty cool. And the vocalist also kind of gets really into it. Here's like I think it's the Plan EP. Yeah, Plan. So kind of cool. You know, little Plan EP. And then here's their next album. Don't know the name of this one either. It's like Grudzin za Grudnine. Polish for like black metal forever or something. Here's Furia. Here's the Halney EP. So kind of cool. You know, kind of cool.
No,
then we got
Pagan Records.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Here's Furia. Here's Marzani Krolawej Polski. So something Polish. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's Furia with Nossel. So kind of cool. They're a band that I'm a little bit new to as well, so I need to dive more into their albums and stuff. And here's Furia. Here's Kizimik Milkzi Ludi, whatever that is.
Nice.
Yeah, I sounded like I was a little bit Polish there.
For a second.
So, when it comes to Polish black metal, I think those guys and Mogła are the two that are really sticking out for me. You know, I kind of like them.
I like Riverside, the Polish black metal band.
Yeah, Riverside's probably the best black metal band from Poland,
probably.
You know. So now we're gonna do Chad's FCDs.
All right, Falconer. Thank you guys. What do we got here? Among Beggars and Thieves. Jeez, I did in the last one too.
It's all
right.
This one, I don't know what my favorite Falconer album, but it's either, you know, self-titled Chapters from Veil Forlorn or Among Beggars and Thieves. Like those 3 albums are my favorite from Falconer. So
yeah.
And then Fintrol, you just said this. You know, help me there.
Oh, Visceram Slutet.
Yep.
That one's like the EP. The thing is that one was like the Russian whatever one, so I wanted to get it again to not get the Russian one. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
And then I got Forbidden, Twisted into Form, which I definitely haven't listened to as much as the other one, but there's some still pretty good stuff on there. I gave it a spin probably like 6 months ago. And then we got some Funerat. When I was getting into all the Razorback Records bands, I ended up picking up these guys, and you know, pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Invaders from the Death.
Yeah, dude.
Not as metal as Fuel, but you know they're pretty metal. So I think that's it. That's the S for Forgotten Legends of Sound. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, did it, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see ya.